Next item number 6 is public comment. Today is the fourth Monday of the month. It is the day that we request and ask for general public comment on issues that impact King County government, and it can be any issue that you care to speak on that we have some responsibility for. As usual, speakers will be given 2 minutes. We have a pretty full agenda today, and as usual, we'll allow anyone that wants to speak, and we have quite a few people signed up to give us their input on what's happening with King County government. With that, I just want to remind you that either podium is available for your use, and we just ask that you state your name for the record. I'm going to read 3 names at a time so we can move as rapidly as possible. The first 3 persons signed up are Mia Jacobson, Sam Bellamio, and Alex Zimmerman.
Are my 2 minutes started?
Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Mia.
I just wanted to begin with personal anecdote. This is the 3rd time I've attended this council meeting this morning. I've attended it twice in my dreams before I woke up. The second time, it was this day, people coming in for public comment, and a group of tall guys came in with the hooded sweatshirts and stood around you as a public demonstration, and all of you got up and left rather than ask. And I was outraged.
And that was in your dreams.
I know, you guys, that didn't happen.
All right.
But I was outraged because rather than ask why, rather than try and figure out what they meant, even if you didn't understand, you left. If you felt disrespected, misunderstood. And it really reminds me of just government's behavior as a whole in response to protests, to the Occupy movement, to the stuff that's happening these days. The people are really upset. They feel as if their government doesn't listen to them, doesn't represent them. And we have found this to be true because we had to ask you for 8 months before you would pass an ordinance for public comment. And even so still, it's in the middle of the day where people can't attend. Parking is really difficult to find. Other counties have it outside of the workday where people can actually come and participate. It's so important for you guys to act appropriately in these times of need, because you guys are responsible for taking care of us, for reflecting our current values, our common concerns, for listening to them, for acting as if they're important. And the more we come up here and voice our concerns and we get no response, no further questions, no further engagement to try and understand where we're coming from, it becomes more and more obvious to me that you may not be interested in really changing and really trying to question yourself, that you may not know exactly what you're doing. You may need us to guide you in these times of need. So with that, that's it.
Thank you. Sam Bellamio, Alex Zimmerman, and Jack Smith.
Yeah, my name's Sam Bellamio, and I'm going to start off by, I don't think it's necessary, but I have to mention that there's a sheriff here, and I come to meetings all the time, and there's never sheriffs here, and on a day that you say we're going to allow the public to openly address us, you deem it necessary to have security here, and that shocks me. And then it makes me think of me as a metaphor with the people coming in and surrounding you in demonstration trying to say that they want to discuss something, and you get appalled and leave because you feel threatened or insulted. But that's the point. You're in this position not as leaders but as representative of the people, and however you may feel insulted, that's the position you're in. If we disagree with what you're doing, you should be open to hearing what that disagreement is. Yet we only get this 15-minute window for 2 million people. We get 15 minutes per month. None of your committee meetings are open. 0 of them are open at a regular basis. Your law in Seattle says keep the citizens quiet during the decision-making process until we've made up our minds to vote on it. Then we'll let them squeak out a voice, and then we'll just vote. Most of you had your speeches written before that day of the vote. So when I come up and speak to you, you've made that decision. You've already put in 2 hours of writing that speech. Why are you going to change your mind? So why are we only allowed to speak when the decision-making process is done? Why are your committees not open? You could make a requirement in King County for any elected official that is required to meet with their representatives at least once a quarter or 4 times a year, where it's a town hall, where it's a Q&A, where I can question you. All your committees are closed. I can't question you. This 15-minute window is all I get. I'm on all of your news feeds, and none of you posted about this. You don't want the citizens here. You don't want our voices, and you don't care what we're saying because you're leaders. You're not leading anything. You're a representative of the people. And right now, when you don't hear what the people want or think, you're ignoring their voices, you're not leading us, and you're not representing us. You're representing your own personal interests. You need to open up the dialogue in every single one of your committees on a consistent basis so our voices can be heard in the decision-making process. We have people for the King County Housing Authority that are being appointed. That there's 5 apartments that this person is overseeing already. That's a conflict of interest. But I can't say anything in Kathy Lambert's committee because it's not open. And this is my request to you as a favor. Can you please open up for dialogue when you appoint this person, so that way I can express my desire or dislike of this person being appointed with this big conflict of interest.
Thank you, Sam.
Thank you.
Alex Zimmerman, followed by Jack Smith and Jared Smith.
Hi, my name is Alex Zimmerman and I represent StandUP-America. And StandUP-America stands for ordinary people. What as we have right now is ordinary fascism with gangster Gestapo principle. There's only one part. Another part is a mental condition. Can you answer me who's normal mental man, you know what this mean, can open door to 2 million people for 15 minutes per month after 40 years? What is the door will be closed. It's exactly mental problem. It's exactly what is you have. You mentally not capable for make a changes. Who's from judges, sheriff, prosecutor, executive, council speak to the people? Nobody. Seattle mayor speak every 2 months, have town hall meeting. We ask you, make a rule, make a policy. So can be corruption in ignoring. Nothing happen. Guys, you need doing something, you know what I mean? I'm too old for this BS. But this not BS right now. For us, for StandUP-America, this look like a pure crime. This is exactly what is you doing for control people. You only one place in King Country, and I sure in state Washington, what is don't give chance talk to people every council meeting. Every city has this. We go to talk to everybody. We go to Seattle, we go to Bellevue, Kirkland, everybody. Council meeting open, people can talk in. 3 minutes, not 2 minutes like you give. Or 15-minute limit 1 times per month, what is you do. Guys, you need make a changes. You not care about people. Everything what is you care is about group of people like you or similar to you or who you choose who controls this country. Is exactly what has happened. To us, you look like organized criminal. You have all definition of mafia. Is this exactly what has happened right now? Please, we beg you, for many years, change something. You know what it means? Start acting like a normal business civilized people. Give people chance talking, like supposed to be by constitution. U.S. constitution, state constitution, and common sense. You forgot what is mean common sense, guy. Come back to America. Return back to America what is we lose for 30 years. Please. Or collapse will be deeper and deeper and deeper. And 1,000 people will be died because you don't want change.
Thank you, Mr. Zimmerman. Jack Smith, followed by Jared Smith and Stephen Collins.
Hi. I want to talk a little bit about
what's
history,
your name?
last week being the history.
What's your name first?
Oh, Jack Smith.
Okay, thank you, Jack.
I'm sorry. I'm proud of the name. It's not very significant, I guess.
No.
Last week, we talked about what seemed to be a battle between the Sonics, other interests, and the poor. And you all had your speeches prepared, so I wondered that my speech wasn't useful to do it. And you spoke about the Sonics, and you spoke about the other interests, but you never even spoke about the poor. The poor are right down in your face, and you don't see them. I know to get to your position, you are activists. I'm an activist. I've been asked to run for public position, and I said no, because I would lose my touch with what I'm doing. And I'm going to tell you about a man who will be on television tonight. Barack Obama is the president. Barack.
Wait, you're very inappropriate, Michael. Don't do that again. Yeah, you're on the list to
The
speak.
President of the United States, he can't object to that. The President of the United States lives in the White House. I was back in April to Washington, his Washington, and I was with Occupy, I was with School of the Americas, I was with the teachers, I was doing a lot of things. But I also, the Occupy encampment was next to a park where the poor went, and they sat there and talked. They couldn't sleep there, but they talked and spent the day there. I went there I got to know a few of them, and I went there one time, and there were these Muslim women. You not interested?
Why are you leaving?
These Muslim women at lunchtime passing out sandwiches and drinks to these hungry people. And I started talking, after they were done, I talked to them. I said, what are you doing? Who are you? We're American from Afghanistan. That is 4 blocks from the White House, and yet no official from the White House could do anything to even recognize. Do you think it'll be on the debate tonight? We can't forget the poor. You still have a chance. You're going to have a budget. There's something that you can do. I don't know what it is, but you know when you look at your budget.
But Jared, your time is up. But you talked about last week, and even you yourself said, Jack, not Jared.
It's Jack. Jared's next.
Jack.
I talked last week.
No. What's your name?
Jack Smith.
Oh, Jack. I'm sorry.
It's on your list.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Okay. Only thing I want to comment on, you talked about the meeting you attended last week. And
Yeah.
You said part of the time we dealt with the arena and a part of the time we dealt with some more people. And
Yes.
you actually said poor people. And those poor people were here. There were about 25 of them
I
in the
saw them.
audience asking if
some.
we would consider a way to provide more support for public transit riders who are poor and don't have enough money to purchase bus tickets that they vitally need.
Yes.
We took that into consideration in the morning and indicated support for it. And then instead of waiting a week like we usually do on new ordinances and laws, we took it up that same afternoon and made $250,000 available for additional bus tickets for the poor. So even the
didn't
meeting
make the
that you
papers,
speak
did it?
of, you can't say that we are never
It didn't
responsive
make
to the poor.
I didn't say you were never.
Wait a minute, sir. Another outburst. I'm sorry, you're going to have to go.
I didn't say you're never. I said, like, I live in a household of 4 people. 3 of them support the Sonics. If they knew I was here again, they'd probably run me out. And one is my 7-year-old grandson.
Okay.
I'm not against the Sonics. I'm just saying we need to look at what's happening in our community.
All right, that's fair. Thank you, Jack.
Talking about the fact that you
Hey, wait. You already talked. You're out of
public comment. That was his point.
Mia, you're out of order.
gonna make that
We have enough sense to know what points people are making. We don't need assistance from you. I'd like to open up the public hearing on this ordinance, and we have 3 people who have signed up to speak to it. They are Mia Jacobson, Sam Bellamio, and Alex Zimmerman. And this is on this ordinance.
Okay, so as with all the other ordinances that enter into an agreement with the executive, we are speaking against that because the executive never meets with the people. He's not accessible by the people. He's not held accountable. There's no way for us to understand why he does what he does, what dealings he has, because he's opaque. There's no transparency there, which is a huge detriment to the success of democracy, of representative government, all of that. And I just wanted to point out that if you guys started on time, we wouldn't be pressed for time for public comment. And I'm sure you guys aren't aware that parking ends at 3 around here. I'm sure you guys have all your own spots. But every time I come here, I'm stressed out because parking ends at 3 and you guys pat yourselves on the back, give awards, that's fine, but just start on time. It's really disrespectful and it's unnecessary. If you want to start at 2, fine. Put it in your schedules so at least you're honest. But I have to go now so I don't get a ticket.
All right. Sam Bellamio.
Yeah, my name is Sam Bellamio. I'm here with StandUP-America, and I heard the word personal privilege earlier. Is that something I can ask for? Bit of personal privilege?
No, you're not a counselor.
So I don't follow the same rules as you guys do then? So your rules don't apply to me? I just wanted to make that clear. So that's evident that when we're speaking on an ordinance such as the executive, that I'm never off subject because the only people that are out of order are the people that have to follow the rules, and therefore I have freedom of speech and I address you.
Chair, I don't think this is appropriate to the topic before us.
Excuse me,
The ordinance.
I'm talking. You haven't even heard me get to my point yet. So
That's the point.
you'll hear my point if you don't interrupt me. So my point is that the executive doesn't follow the rules, and we never get the chance to hear from him. The rules I'm talking about establishing that you must follow, that I, John Q. Public, don't have to follow because I can come speak to you openly. But I wanted to point out you have rules that you have to follow, each one of you. And the executive never responds to the people. He doesn't ever have public Q&As. How are we going to allow him to do this agreement if he doesn't even hear what we want from this agreement? We can tell each of you what we want, but that's the game telephone. And I don't want my country created by a bunch of rulers that are above the people that don't listen to what the people want. When are you guys going to wake up and start opening the dialogue? You give us the 15 minutes for the public hearing once a month. We want you to open up your committees because we want to be in the decision-making process. The executive has all these decisions he's making, and we're not included in any of those. We only can come speak to you at that point once he's made his decisions. But what if we could have changed that course and what he was going to do? We could have created something much bigger and much brighter and much better for each citizen. We can't have that opportunity if you don't wake up and start changing the rules that you all must follow. Don't start telling me these are the rules. The Constitution said Congress shall create no rule. Congress that said the government is restricted from. The Constitution was created to restrict our government, not the people. So as you create your rules restricting us much further and further, we start losing our civil liberties and our right to get a governmental redress of grievance from any government body that we elect, including judges, prosecutor, counsel, the executive. We need to have every one of you accountable. Create a time and space where a Q&A can be open so people can ask. Now, you don't have all the power over the executive. We have separation of branches. I understand that. But you do have checks and balances. You do create the laws. So therefore, you can create a law requiring all elected officials, including yourselves, to be answerable to the people.
Alex Zimmerman.
Yes, thank you very much. My name is Alex Zimmerman and I represent StandUP-America. And StandUP-America stands for ordinary people. Guys, everything what I see from you for last 25 years, I see for another 25 years from Soviet Empire. You not understand how you looking exactly like Soviet Empire communist. You know what I mean? You not only looking like this, you much more dangerous because we have a democracy, we have a constitution, we have freedom of speech. When you go a little bit to history and looking back, you will find something what is very dangerous before. In every empire what is have same philosophy what is you have right now for last 25 years come to collapse. No exception for last 5,000 years. What is very important, what is you understand this, but you look a little bit strange to me, because you probably all educate, you know what is mean and want represent people, so you don't understand very common sense, you don't understand history. Sorry guys, how you can represent people when you don't know history? In exactly United States history, you know what is mean? Because America is a more democracy country in the world, have constitution for 200 years. You forgot about this. You're talking about every day good and good and good, and for 25 years I see you all super. So can you answer me for one very small question? How 50% poor people right now don't have nothing? You have a budget $7.6 billion, almost $8 billion. By common sense, 50% people possibly have 50% or almost $4 billion. So how much you come to poor people? Nothing. 50% American have zero right now. In totally poor, in total collapse, without food, money, without shelter, without housing, people dying, and you responsible for this. So everybody who die in the cities, die in country, It's your responsibility. You guilty of this. But you don't understand this. Because when you understand this common sense, so you, by definition, kill people. You know what it means? You give 50% to these 50 poor people. It's a common sense. Everything what is we want from you, come back, guys, to real America, what is we lose for last 25 years. Come back, respect people. Human is human. Thank you very much. Pick up it.
Mr. Chair, the topic, I believe, is on a wastewater loan. It seems like we're not on topic to that topic. Thank you.
Are there others in the audience that would like to speak on this ordinance? Hearing none, we will proceed. And